Hi everybody, I have a lady with me. Um, right, okay. She's called Merrill, and Merrill's saying that she was old before her time. Um, she is, thank you, Canadian. And, right, thank you. She's showing me Toronto. She's from um, near Toronto in Canada. She liked the outdoors, and okay, she didn't like the hunting as such, but she liked that lifestyle, that camping out and catching your own food and cooking your own food and then fishing and things like this. Okay, she just said to me, "I am what you would call these days old school," and she took nothing for granted. And she, okay, oh right, oh okay. She's telling me that she, um, uh, yeah, okay. Right, okay. Yep, got you. Right, she's telling me that she went onto a fishing trip and um, they went to uh, um, Lake Michigan, thank you. And she says we were camping out. She says it was a lovely spring, warm air. She says it was wonderful. She says and that's when we liked to camp. She's like they went in their um, RV, and but they used to have a tent that sits on the side of it, and she says we'd pick a remote spot and enjoy it, and she says we used to take all our own food and everything. She says we'd go into the local towns and what have you, and pick up local produce and stuff, and they got quite friendly with farmers and things for milk and fresh eggs and things. She's saying that everything was fine uh, until they saw a bright light on top of the water. And she's saying that it looked as if it was sucking up the water. And it would go into the water and then out, and into the water and then out, and it would hover over the top of the water. And she's saying that it was, they used to watch this and it got quite frightening. And they decided to stay where they were. And they were sleeping in the tent and they were sleeping in their camping beds, thank you. And the next thing, they felt as if they were floating. And she said she came to, she was like in a meditation state or a meditative state. She said, but when I looked round, there was around 6 little men around me. She says they weren't touching me. They were just holding their hands and we were hovering. And she says it got quite frightening, but I felt paralysed, and I was paralysed. Yeah. She says I don't know how long this was, because when we came to, we was in a different place. We weren't in the same position. They were still in the same place, but they weren't in the same position. And she says that they were red, blood red, all over the face. She says we didn't have any physical marks or anything like that. She's just like burnt, like a high degree of sunburn. And this, they decided once they came to report this to the local police, and of course I don't feel that they believed her. Thank you. She's showing me 1982 when this happened, and they, yeah, she's nobody believed us. So we packed all as equipment and we went back to Canada. She says, but we didn't speak to each other, her and her husband. They didn't speak to each other. She says, we just, all right, okay. She's telling me that they had a dog with them and the dog passed because of the trauma. And she's rolling me now on to 1985, and she contracted skin cancer. She says it didn't last. I didn't last long. Once I was diagnosed, she says, and I didn't smoke. I lived outdoors. She says I lived well, and it was due to apparently it was due to radiation poisoning, and she's got nothing to do with radiation. But it took her across to the other side, and she wrote down her memoirs and wrote the account about this, what happened, and she just wanted to say that that these things do happen, they are real, and they happened to her and her husband. Her husband passed not long after her, again through radiation poisoning, and until today nobody would have heard their story, because she says, right, okay, she says it got wrote down, it got logged and filed, and she says, and that's where it stayed, and until now nobody else has known about this. Okay, God bless you. She's just thanking me. She's just thanking me for listening, and she's thanking me for making this video, to put this video out into the public domain. And on that note, she is pulling away, and I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us, and I'll see you in the next one.